Please consult with your physician before starting an exercise program. Welcome. In 2013, I suffered a major stroke a week before I was scheduled to run the Pittsburgh Half Marathon. I was totally paralyzed on my right side. I couldn't think, I couldn't talk. My right arm had popped out of my shoulder and shriveled up like a little worm. 7 months later, I ran the Polar Dash in Minneapolis. It was 10 degrees below zero and minus 20 with the wind chill factor. The purpose of this video is to give you hope, inspiration, and courage. I'll also share with you how I trained. I had run many half marathons and one full marathon. Three days after my major stroke, I was laying in the hospital bed. I couldn't move. I proceeded to give myself a pep talk. I said, I'm mad as hell, and I ain't taking this sick stuff anymore. And I swung my leg over the bed and stood up. 3 nurses came running in because the bells went off. A few days later, it was the day that I was scheduled to run the Pittsburgh Half Marathon. I woke up early that morning, put on my running gear, and went walking down the hall like this. And I still couldn't talk right. 3 doctors came walking down the hall, the head doctor and his assistant. And I said to them, would it be okay if I run the half marathon? I'll be right back. They didn't laugh. The head doctor looked at me and said, give it 3 months. A year later, I did complete the Pittsburgh Half Marathon. When I got close to the finish line, I noticed a group of nurses sitting on the steps in the rehab center that I was at. I looked up at them and yelled out, I was in there a year ago. I had a stroke. And they all started to clap. A couple days after I got home from the hospital, I ended up walking 9 miles. I wasn't allowed to drive a car, so that's what I had to do to get to my appointments. The next morning, I said I want to do something amazing. So I did a Google search, and I came up with the Polar Dash in Minneapolis. I was confident that if I trained for it, I could complete it. But everyone I know, family, friends, medical professionals, all warned me not to do it. They said it was too dangerous, but I was confident that I could complete it. Naysayers motivate me. So how did I train? I would run for 30 seconds and then walk until I recovered. I repeated this until I was able to run 2 miles. Once I was able to run 2 miles straight, I followed Runner's World Half Marathon training system. I ran in the ice and snow so I could get used to the environment that I would be running in. How did I dress for the cold? I wore these Gore-Tex running boots with wool socks. Under my sweatpants, I wore biker tights. Under this sweatshirt, I wore a compression shirt. On top of that, I wore a down jacket, ski mask, and mittens. I used 5 hand warmers, 2 in each mitten, and 1 next to my heart. A warm heart is a warm body. I completed the 14-mile polar dash in Minneapolis 7 months after my stroke. It was 10 degrees below zero, minus 20 with the wind chill factor. I never ran so fast in my life. This gave many people hope, inspiration, and courage. I hope it does for you as well.